The biggest topics currently shaping roaming really fit into three categories that are familiar but maybe with a slightly modern twist. So, technology investments, competition, as well as client experience. So, with technology, think of 5G, business intelligence, and analytics. With competition, you have different people embracing disruptive models, and client experience, we have roaming becoming a really key part of client experience.
The biggest topics currently shaping roaming, I believe, are relating to the new technologies and the evolution that the technologies will bring. For example, the 2G and 3G sunsets that are going on in the industry in preparation for VoLTE and 5G roaming. So that's the key topics that are being discussed in the industry, and all the changes that those technology evolutions bring with it, like the billing challenges for the operators, the quality improvements that needs to be done by the operators. So that's mainly the main topics that we are hearing in the industry.
It's a really exciting time because right now it's the 5G standalone possibility has come to the fore. So now we're looking at full radio and core capabilities, and for us in roaming it means that really making sure we have the right prioritizations of roaming partners, making sure we can launch those partners, making sure the full ecosystem from the radio and core capabilities through to the handset, it's all in place together. So for our customers it's an exciting time. For us in the industry it's really important, and while we're looking at the 5G SA possibilities, it's also about making sure that VoLTE inbound and outbound launches are in place, and all other technological possibilities along the way as well. So making sure that we're delivering a full pipeline of launches with our partners and making sure that the retail propositions are there. There's a lot of debate going on right now in terms of what that means for the future.
Cineverse discussion points in WOZ this year really did center around technology, and specifically as investments are made in 5G, it forces technologies like 3G to be shut down. So our solutions fill a client experience gap in the middle of VoLTE roaming and those kind of things that a subscriber may experience with this technology shift. We're also seeing monetization be a really key discussion point this year, whether it's roaming and or disruptive messaging models. And coming back to client experience, it's exciting to see that elevate, and the tools that we have been investing in allow operators to really change the subscriber experience with roaming and have that be an important part of the mobility experience.
So the main topics that have been on my agenda during this WOZ meeting are the IoT negotiations. IoT negotiations so that we can provide competitive rates to our roaming partners so that they can use our network, and also so that we get competitive rates for our roaming out, so that we can translate that into competitive retail offers for our Tigo customers when they travel abroad. That has been the main issue, the main topic that we've included in our negotiations, and obviously trying to understand how we can meet and how we can better serve the roaming partners that we have business with.
It's great to be here because there's so much of the debate that we share across our industry, from areas such as fraud, for example, and what we do in fraud, through to messaging, looking at flash calling and A2P, of course making sure that we're managing the customer's expectations around customer experience. That's an ongoing need. It's also important to look at BCE and making sure that we drive BCE across the industry through as many operators as possible. For us at Verizon, we've been presenting on the 5G Edge capabilities that we offer and bringing many of the use cases to the fore around that as well. And then finally, it's also important to look at robocalling. Here in North America, the robocalling challenges that have existed, and working with regulators and across the industry to bring in the glitter capability, and we're really making sure that we drive that through the industry as well.
So building off WOZ 17 is going to be hard to do when you consider Vancouver being a brilliant city to host in. TELUS was a fantastic host operator. The facility was great, but one area of focus would be continuing the global marketplace and attracting global partners into WOZ to conduct business here. It's a great environment for that. So I would continue that core foundational element of WOZ and continue to attract the global marketplace.
I think that collaboration is key, and that's the main reason why we attend these events. And I would just think or suggest that a follow-up, maybe 2 meetings during the year are separated during the year, and geographically it's not so easy to attend both meetings for the roaming partners. But maybe more collaboration in between those 2 meetings to follow up on the discussions that have been held, for example, in this event, which are key. And there is a lot of information that was exchanged, a lot of collaboration that is great, and I think that needs to continue to happen, because from here up to the next 2 years we need to continue moving on to VoLTE 5G and all the changes it brings. So it is good that we can continue to talk to each other, to collaborate, to exchange information and expertise. So hopefully that's after WAS that we can continue with those efforts in between WAS events.
Well, we've done a lot, and I think there's a lot more we need to do around 5G. So we've come together as an industry over the past couple of years to really see what 5G, NSA and SA can mean for us as an industry and ultimately for our end customers. I think for the next meetings of WAS, it's really important to drive that further around the 5G SA conversation. So making sure that we're working together to have as many launches, to make sure we really have a ubiquitous retail offering that's achieved through the roaming capabilities that we're all here to bring together. So I think for us in the next rounds of WAS, the next few events, it's important to make sure that we build on the 5G SA conversation, we keep driving the VoLTE message, we keep protecting against fraud and robocalling, and anything that we can do in terms of making sure that the customer experience when roaming is really maximized so that they get a quality service across the world, it works every time, and we make sure all our customers are satisfied. That's what I think we can achieve through WAS together.